So it's time to settle the speculation and the debate. Is GT better than TSR? A lot of people out there saying that GT's way better, a lot of people saying TSR's better, a lot of people saying there's no difference. There's only one way to really find out, and that's to do what we do best. And that is a super in-depth head-to-head test on GC Quad, hitting loads of shots. I mean, we really dive deep in this test, like to the millimeter, pinpointing the tiniest bits of detail to really try and find out, is the GT better than the TSR? So we've got Josh down in the studio today, one handicap golfer, so a great golfer, agreed to be my tester, which is brilliant. We hit 3 data sets. So we hit a normal swing, normal data set with reasonably good strikes, a couple of not great ones in there, but just a good average data set with both club. And then I get him to miss-hit the absolute hell out of them, out the heel, out the toe, and separate those into data sets as well and cipher them down for a really good comparison on the off-center hits as well. Now today is the 3 model, so this is at a slightly quicker swing speed, but the 2 model will be coming, so I will be doing GT2 versus TSR2 and average swing speed, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And today I'm not even going to ask you to subscribe, don't even worry about that. But if you love our content, you love these head-to-heads, and you want to help us push them out to more like-minded golfers such as yourself, then just hit that like button. Easy, takes 1 second, tells YouTube it's a great video, and it gets pushed to more amazing golfers such as yourself who can enjoy our honest, in-depth, unbiased tests. So let's do it. Josh, first appearance on the channel.
Absolutely, debut.
Debut. Thanks for coming down. It's going to be tester for TSR versus GT3. So handicap 0.7.
Indeed, yeah. On the nose.
Pretty strong golfer. Would you say driving's a strong suit for you, or?
Yeah, driving accuracy, I'd say generally. Just a big slider, and I know what it does every time. So that's how I get around the golf. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
You've used a Titleist driver before,
I was a TSI3 guy before I became a TaylorMade guy. So yeah, very familiar with the Titleist.
How did you find that transition to TaylorMade? You like it more or less? Not sure.
I love the sound of the carbon.
Okay.
So I'm really looking forward to the GT with the different material.
PMP crown.
Yeah. I love the carbon sound. So I always found that I got better numbers out of the TSI than I did at whatever the equivalent was, like the Stealth or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm just seduced by the sound of carbon. Okay. Carbon-headed woods, like they just sound that like dull thud. I love. So ended back in a TaylorMade. I think it's from hockey. You used to play a lot of hockey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I think it's kind of a hockey stick-esque.
Hence the fade, bit of a
slapstick
kind of shot.
Hell yeah! Yeah, exactly. Good. Yeah, this face ain't closing.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know that you're driving that well, to be fair. So you've been here for 1 fit in. This is actually the second time I've ever met you.
Yes.
Second time in the studio. So it'll be interesting to see. So we'll try and get a good data set, and then I might test you later and see miss-hits, if you can give some miss-hits on command to see if we really want to test the miss-hits. Like, be interesting to see out the middle what they do. Is there any different launch and spin characteristics? We know realistically the ball speed is probably not going to be that different out the middle. It's been limited for a long time. There's only so much they can do. So now, what does it do on the miss-hits, the bad ones, across the face? So we might test your miss-hits as well. But first, we'll get a data set with each. So first up, we go TSR. So setup, we got this 8 degree. So it's playing 8 degrees, slightly upright on the loft sleeve. Standard head weight in H2, so in the heel. We've got the brand new 2024 Vertical Plus Black 6X 45-inch playing length. So start off with the TSR, see how we go.
Let's do it.
I mean, absolutely take it. A little bit heely?
Yeah, a little bit. That's kind of typical for me for the golf course. Just like a peely fade that...
Yeah. I mean, pretty good numbers, in fairness. I mean, like it's a slightly high heel. So efficiency 142 from that strike is not terrible, to be honest. But yeah, 281 carry down the middle, 12 launch, 2-4 spin, decent.
Hopped out of that. So that's the miss.
Interesting. Okay. So it'd be interesting to see what the GT does on that one. Let's look at the variables of that delivery. Yes, I mean, face 6 open. Relative to a 5 left path and a bottom strike. So that spin goes from 24 up to 39. Which looks bad, but I think most drivers, it's going to be a big jump in spin on that, isn't there? But yeah, that would be probably dead. Sounded better.
Yeah. Yeah, much better.
Again, 2.8, low 2.8s carry. Nice. Again, bit of a better strike, slightly toe side, which is going to be a better strike for you. Still 142 efficiency, so it's okay, but it's not great, to be honest. Spin comes up to 2.9. Again, it's quite spinny, isn't it, for a little bit of a toe strike, but 165 ball, 282 carry in the fairway. Absolutely take that.
Mm.
It's nice, mate. Look, it popped up a little bit, maybe a couple mil high on the face.
Bang. Yeah, it did pop up, didn't it?
Again, down the line. Not the longest, but super straight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's more just the path, getting a little bit more left.
Yeah.
And that spin, wow, 3.6. I mean, that is, for an 8-degree TSR3 head,
Yeah.
that is a lot of spin.
It's spinny.
Yeah, that's definitely the miss, isn't it?
That felt toe.
Yeah.
Like high toe.
It's, what's that, 40 yards offline? I mean, yeah, it's a bit ball line, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just spins a lot. It'd be really interesting to see like the GT comparison in spin, because they say the CG's been moved a little bit lower, a little bit further forward. It'd be interesting to see launch and spin comparison.
Like even that felt very good.
Like the strike felt good.
Yeah, it felt nice.
Just a lot of
It felt
spin in
strong.
there.
It's just
Face too open, adding a load of spin.
yeah. Jillions of spin. Yeah,
Yeah.
3.8.
3.8,
Wowza.
yeah. That is a lot of backspin.
Yeah.
Yeah, try to square that one up a bit more.
Yes. Yeah.
Bit
yeah.
bottomy.
Let down.
Carry was better.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it was middled.
Yeah. Just try to.
Well, fraction heel side, but better. And yeah, try to square it up. So spin does come back to 2.4. Again, 144 efficiency, so that was better. So the ball speed jumps back up to 165, which is good. Very different ball flight just from squaring up. I mean, you can see your every other one there. And
Yeah.
Kind of this one just holds so much lower and down the line. It's just the face at impact. Again, it sounded better.
Yeah.
That's real. I'm going to move that. That bunker's right on your land point, isn't it?
It is when I managed to hit that like slightly squarer one.
Yeah, yeah. Or again, yeah, launch. I mean, it's just when you square it up, it does launch a little bit too low. So because your angle of attack isn't very much up, and you're a bit across it, it's kind of like we get low launch but quite a lot of backspin.
Yeah.
Which is obviously for 116 club speed, carrying it 279 isn't particularly optimized.
Isn't the
But
one, yeah.
as we just said, like if you hit it that far consistently and you're in play, does it even matter? How did that one feel?
Yeah, better. Good.
Yeah.
I think it's heel-esque again, or heel adjacent.
Slightly heel, but again, 293 almost on the line.
Yeah.
We will take that. Yeah, I mean, the last couple have just been slight low heel. We've had a couple of heel, couple of toes, and again, 10-ish launch, 3.4 spin, 117 club, 167 ball. So that's probably the best ball speed so far. But again, it's not getting lows out of it, considering. I mean, average strike, we got 3 mil heel, 3 mil low, which is not bad, to be fair, not bad. Average ball speed of 164, 11.5 launch, 3.3 backspin, 270 carry, which is, again, it's okay. It's not the best, but it's okay.
Yeah, there's a couple of real high ones in there, isn't there? One at nearly 4.2 and one at 4.
I think what we'll do, we'll hit a similar amount of shots with the GT and we'll see what that does. And then we might look at the data comparison with every shot in, and then we might clean it up a little bit and make it a bit of a fairer comparison. And then obviously might get you to try and hit some properly bad ones for me. Right, mate, into the GT. So we've got exactly the same setup. Head weight, I've seen a few people commenting saying that they're different head weights and whatnot. Haven't found any difference in, so I've measured the 8 degrees and 9 degree heads of each. I haven't found any head weight differences between them personally. So head weight same, swing weight the same shaft, 8 degrees, setting upright, same weight setting, same specs. Any noticeable difference looking down by the ball, do you think? Or
it's funny that you say that, because down at the ball, it feels like a hair deeper. A hair deeper, but I don't know if that's...
Okay.
Imagine.
I'm smiling like the Titleist kind of rep smiled when I said the same thing. So it's a lot of that is the lines on the face.
I see.
So the the TSR, if you look at that, it's very like gold, the gold line separating the face and across.
Yeah.
So I don't think it actually is deeper. It's just that you can see the face
lines,
a lot more. They've really tried to,
made it pop out.
They've really tried to brighten it up a lot. So yeah, it does. It looks like you can just see it down by the ball better.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Titleist playing tricks on everyone's eyes. Yeah, it looks. It's so funny you say that because I can. You're right. Maybe it's just confirmation bias because you've just said it, but it feels like I can see more face. It feels like there's more loft here.
Yes, that's exactly what I said.
It's deeper.
More loft. More loft.
That's
but apart from that similar shape, isn't it? Really,
Yeah.
it looks
Yeah,
similar
yeah,
finish.
absolutely.
I mean, again, we always kind of knew that they were going to keep the look the same. You know, that classic shape, the classic gloss black crown. You know, but now with the PMP material, I mean, it's really impressive, to be honest. I mean, obviously, if you haven't seen the video that I've done, we do a full tech breakdown of everything GT, where Jack from Titleist came down and just took us through all of the new tech in the GT. You know, with the PMP, so proprietary matrix polymer. So they didn't go down the carbon route; they went down a proprietary, so a matrix polymer route. That just enabled them to control the sound better. So saved loads of weight, so they could reposition the mass to better positions, more stability. Lower in front of the face, out in the toe, still back, so real kind of spread the weight to the perimeters to increase stability. But the way that they've done the material is they can still keep the sound metallic-y. So it still sounds more like a titanium driver, which is what they wanted to do. And every one is kind of hand finished, painted, filled, hand finished, so you can't see any evidence of like any crown at all on there. It just looks like a titanium gloss black driver. So
That's cool. Yeah,
pretty cool, yeah. Yeah, it definitely sounds
different. This is going to be expensive.
That definitely sounds different. Is it going to fly the bunker?
Yeah.
That's the question. It did. Oh!
Oh my!
In fairness, we got a little bit of a kick off the back of the bunker there. But
Who cares? Who cares?
but it did carry it. I mean, it was absolutely out the middle, wasn't it, in fairness?
Test over. We're done.
Yeah, really good strike.
Cut the camera.
Really good strike. I mean, in all fairness, though, the interesting thing there straight off the bat is the efficiency actually is still not great, which I'm not going to blame the driver. It's just obviously interesting comparing the two as in TSR versus GT. I just think, again, I'm not really seen you hit any drives other than today. I just don't think you're a particularly efficient driver of the ball. Which,
I am not.
and there's nothing sort of tangibly apart from the path possibly that I could see on that data that would kind of pinpoint that. Some people just are and some people aren't, right? But that was right out the middle. 142 efficiency is not brilliant. I mean, 163.5 ball speed.
Yeah, it's like 0.3 off at least of where we could be.
Possibly, but again, is that a you thing or a club thing? We'd have to test other clubs to really see. But I mean, yeah, 142. I mean, it was pretty similar with we had one at 144 with the TSR, but again, it tended to be more around 142, 141, 142, 142, 142, 140, 141. Do you know what I mean? But yeah.
Just not a quick boy.
287 carry though. I mean, it's not bad.
Fell out of that.
But that was a miss, wasn't it?
Yeah, miss. I hit it. I saved it a bit, but
again, it's done very well, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's sick.
That did very well.
If I could miss a ball.
Wow, yeah, I mean, that's not too dissimilar to that one we had with the TSR, is it, really? And it's definitely lower spin. I mean, you've squared off the face a bit better, I would say.
I seem to get that out of it.
Again, similar to a couple we had with the TSR there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely, well, you squared up the face better, which, again, realistically, it's very hard to say how much of that's you and how much of that's driver. Again, better efficiency, 144, similar to one we saw at the TSR. 166.7 ball speed. So far, the quickest ball speed we saw out of the TSR was 166.8. And that was 166.7. That was, but we did have, what was the longest carry so far with the TSR was 283. And we had a 287 from the GT so far.
Yeah.
Definitely squaring up the face better though.
Yeah, I'm just able to start it. I'm starting it a little bit better. That's another big one.
Again, that was long, similar to the first one.
That's another big one.
Yeah, strike's good. I mean, it actually suits you quite well, this head, I would say. Again, good strike. Again, it's just your angle of attack, zero angle of attack. But for a zero angle of attack, getting 10.5 launch, 2-3 backspin, it's actually pretty solid numbers. To be honest, again, that 142 efficiency. So even though you're middling it, we're not getting loads of efficiency out of it.
Do you think that's just simply the path? just because I'm like 5 left.
So TJ was the same. I mean, TJ's been on the channel a couple of times, you know, Tej. He was very much the same. Just not, even though he's a great golfer, loads of speed, just not efficient. Even when he nutted out the middle. Efficiency.
Yeah, honestly.
And I see it from time to time. Like, again, there's no absolute tangibles that you could pinpoint that go, that's why you're not efficient. Unfortunately, you're just not.
I'll say that to him. I'll say me and him next time we're in a 4-ball together can console each other in being wildly inefficient drivers of the golf ball.
Similar speed though.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, TJ's. I'll do this for YouTube, but TJ's honestly one of the most naturally talented golfers I've ever played with. He's amazing. Like his speed's unreal. His short game is fantastic. So
nice.
Now at least we've got that together, as we can be like the 1.42 boys.
Nice. Again, nice.
That is the one that felt with the TSR3.
It's going high right.
Yeah, that felt completely different.
Interesting. It definitely sounds different. I'm trying to pinpoint like an exact way to describe it, but it definitely sounds. I do think it sounds a little bit thuddier.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds.
I mean, it's a little bit low in the head, and that actually didn't sound that low to me. I'm normally pretty good at that. Again, good efficiency. So the spin comes up kind of, with a low strike, 600-700 revs. Yeah, I mean, the last video I did was the GT2 versus Ping 10K. Still think the Ping 10K is like the king of low strikes.
Yeah.
It just doesn't spin up off low strikes, which is just ridiculous. But even that, I mean, again, it's 280 carries, 8 yards offline, 300 down the middle.
Yeah.
Pretty decent efficiency.
Exactly.
You cannot complain. Yeah, nice. Can definitely square. I mean, that was really good. Little draw, mate. What's going on?
Yeah, oh my word.
Yeah, again, it's a
banger.
Fly in the bunker. I definitely do think it's lower spin.
Yes, yeah, it feels that way.
Again, great strike, really good. Nice. Just wanted to have a quick look at that. I mean, that's the 3 or 4 high rights that you hit. I just deleted. Well, I didn't delete. I just disabled for the minute.
Yeah.
Because we haven't hit any high rights at all. Again, how much of that's you and how much that's club, it's hard to say. You say that feels easy to square up, so I've got to take that on face value. We'd say maybe it is a little bit easier to square up than the TSR, which is not a bad thing. Ball speed similar, launch not too dissimilar, but we are definitely seeing noticeably lower spin.
Yes.
Which, again, that's correlating to another 8 yards of carry.
Yeah, the distributions of everything's sitting within reasonably similar ranges.
I mean, again, if you look at every other variable there, if you look at that average strike, bang on the same. You know, if you look at the path, half a degree different. I mean, if anything, you were hitting up slightly more on the TSR, which would probably give more an advantage to the TSR. You know, the face difference at impact only 0.4 of a degree different. Speed identical, efficiency identical. It's just dynamic loft. Like the dynamic loft's 2 degrees lower with the GT, even with similar angle of attack, similar path, similar face, similar strike, similar speed, less dynamic loft being delivered, so we're seeing less spin. And that's just correlating for you. I'm not going to look at total because we had a couple of kick off the back of the bunker, but for you, that's correlating to an extra 8 yards of carry. Yeah. Which ain't bad, and a bit more of a low forward penetrating flight. Absolutely. It's, that's half, maybe even a whole club, subject to conditions on the course. Yeah, it could be, that would be a whole club, I reckon. Yeah. 10, 12 yards. Yeah. Yeah, really good, mate. Yeah. Just square it. I'm actually just hitting it where I'm aiming. That's what, that is long as well. Yeah, golf's 320. Cool. Okay, right. So what, in the spirit, he's nutted down the middle. Again, really good. 11 launch, 2-1, 2-2 spin. Perfect face to path, like ideal, perfect, almost 0-0. That's a great drive. Right, in the spirit of being fair then, let's pop the TSR head straight back on now and compare. Right, straight back TSR, let's just hit a few. Now you're warm, you're getting in the groove, you're swinging good. I did let you have a decent warm-up, in fairness, before we went into this. But in the spirit of being fair, let's hit a few more straight off the bat with this. Another couple of bats. That's mad, isn't it? Straight away, you'd probably get away with it, but it's definitely a bit of a high right. Interesting. We didn't have any sort of like that with the... No. Again, 3 degrees face opens, ends up 27 yards right of where we were trying to go. I mean, what was the furthest right with the GT? We had 8 yards right. It's crazy, and straight back into this, nearly 30 right.
I'm just having a really rough time closing the face. It feels, it just feels almost like I'm getting stuck, but...
Weird, isn't it? Because it's exactly the same head weight,
Yeah.
same loft, same setup. Obviously the face looks slightly different, but again, the could be an internal weighting thing as well. Like I say, where the head construction design is completely different. It's completely different, you know, with that PMP and different weight distribution. It's a different head. There we go, it looked square too much. But again, that's the thing, right? Like straight away, even if we were in a fit-in, and let's just say these two heads were two completely different brands, you'd absolutely be going GT based on the fact that it naturally suited the way you were swinging. So straight away there, first one you tried to square up, didn't, so then overreacted and turned it over. So it's like you're fighting to find that middle point.
It's probably confirmation bias, let's be real, but as soon as I set that down, I'm like, I can't see anything. It looks like just like a big black ball at the bottom of the club, whereas that was, that GT it really felt like I could see the face, and that added a lot of confidence to me.
That's mad. And like I say, like, even if that maybe doesn't actually correlate to if you put it on a robot, right? But how humans react to stuff is so important.
Absolutely.
Definitely just wants, I mean, it's a better shot, but definitely wants to just curve a little bit more out to the right. Yeah, a little bit out of the neck. Efficiency drops to 141, spin goes up to 3.2. Again, I mean, it's 290, 19 yards offline. Decent result. But, I mean, we'll hit a few more because it will be interesting just to see if we can replicate that shot with the GT to some degree. We clearly know that the GT is performing better for you as a player. But now, if we try and take the player variable out of it, so I need Robot Josh.
Robot Josh.
Just to see what, you know, if we can put the same swing and strike on it, how does it perform? Tough, isn't it? Tough for you to square up.
Yeah, Robot Josh can't use his hands, apparently.
Just wants to go right. That's really interesting, to be honest.
Yeah,
really interesting.
Well, let's just say I'm glad that I was a TSI guy. Because
TSR don't work for you.
Yeah, TSR seems to be a real battle.
Again, it's interesting though, if we add TSR set 2 back in now, I mean, it really isn't that far away from set 1, is it?
No.
Okay, we've got a few more going right because I haven't disabled the ones going right because pretty much all of them have gone right so far. But ball speed's pretty similar. Launch was at half a degree, now the same as the GT. Spins, again, just up, spins higher. And even though the ball speed's similar, launch is similar, that lower spin with the GT is just giving us that extra forward press. Yeah, so we were 1.9 open to the path with the TSR first time, 1.7 open to the path this time, and then 0.7 open with the GT.
Oh, so I was squaring it. Yeah, okay.
So it's only a degree, just over a degree. It's not a lot, but it's enough to make a decent difference.
It's enough, yeah.
And again, the dynamic loft does go back up on the TSR again. That was better.
Yeah.
That's the best one I think you've hit. Yeah, best one you've hit. Still 10 yards back of the GT in fairness. Yeah, I mean, that was good strike. Maybe fractionally out of the heel, right? But best one we've hit. Squared up the face nicely, so it's only 0.3 open. 9.5 launch, 2.5 spin. It's probably about as close as we're going to get to that last one you hit with the GT, which was 2.95 carry, and that was 2.84 carry. Again, it's basically the same ball speed. In fairness, that last one with the GT was 1.66. That one you just hit was 1.65.8. So there's not a vast difference in ball speed. It's just a lot of it's the spin, to be honest. Like, it's just, I definitely think that is a lower spinning head. There we go. Bit of a draw.
Yeah, I mean, I towed that to bits.
I mean, yeah, I was going to say, so that's going to be one of the longer shots for you. Squared up the face, tiny bit out the toe maybe, get that spin down. Yep, exactly that. And again, I mean, it's good, 310. Still, again, the last one with the GT, 295 carry, that 286 carry. It still was not getting up there, to be fair. I mean, it's closer. If we take that last one out that you hit, that was absolutely horrific. 247 carry, not your best. Yeah. You know.
Pitching wood.
Yeah. I mean, if we compare those two data sets now, in the spirit of being super fair. So 2 data sets. So it's closing the gap. Ball speed similar, maybe fraction more with GT, but similar. Launch exactly the same. And that backspin just, what, 300 revs lower?
Yeah.
Now equating in a 6-yard carry gain. 7 yard more total.
I'm glad we came back to it.
Yeah, I thought it would be the right thing to do, but that's probably a fairer comparison, isn't it? But it definitely just seems that if we were in a fit-in, there'd be no doubt that the GT head is better for you, and that might not be the same for everyone out there. In all honesty, you'd have to test for yourself and find out. But just definitely something about the head for you. You can find the middle better, you can square it better, and it was just giving you more confidence and better results and better consistency. But yeah, that's probably a fair comparison. Again, club data, same swing speed. Same swing speed. Again, we still do see the dynamic loft lower with the GT. So definitely I think the CG is having an effect on the delivered loft and therefore creating that lower spin condition. Get angle of attack fairly similar, path fairly similar. Face was probably a little bit more left with the GT, which might have had a slight impact, but yeah, overall I think that it is just a lower spin head.
Yeah, I know what I'm buying. Yeah, that's for certain.
Bad ones. Hit some, sticking TSR. I've just moved the weight a bit more central out of the heel, just to, move that mass a little bit more to the center of the head. But yeah, what I want you to do with this is hit some very bad toe strikes for me.
Some big toe ones.
Toe, wasn't it?
That was toe.
I mean, it didn't sound bad toe though, but no, it's still going to carry like 270, so it can't have been that bad. But it'd be interesting to see where it was. Yeah, I mean, it was toey, 15 mil. It's definitely a toe strike. 1.4 efficiency. It's reasonable, considering we know you're not the most efficient player anyway. But yeah, okay, not a bad result. That's probably one of the better ones you've done so far, isn't it? Yeah. Toe side is a good place to hit it. Like, you normally hit it heel, which is not great. Yeah.
It's not great for distance.
I mean, again, like, it's not the worst toe strike in the world, but it's definitely, again, what's that, 17 mil toe? 141 efficiency, done well. 12.5 launch, 2.5 spin, done very well. Again, it'd be interesting to see if we can replicate that kind of 17, 20 mil toe strike with the GT to see what it does. Yeah, that was really toey, wasn't it? Again, it's done very well. But there might have been a hair of mat in there as well, so it probably just ripped a little bit of spin off. But yeah, I mean, geez, you can't really hit it much worse than that. I mean, that is awful. But again, it's actually a very good result. It carried around 250, 19 yards offline. It's actually pretty solid for a horrific strike.
1300 spin, oh my word.
Yeah. All right, let's hit a few with GT. All right, same thing from GT then, mate. See what you can do. Again, just move the weight central, but apart from that, same setup. How did that one feel?
Low toe.
It's done very well.
It feels like I love the Titleist GT3.
Yeah, that's, 292 down the middle. It'll be interesting to see where the strike is. Yeah, I mean, that's not good. That is not a good strike. I mean, that's mega low toe. That's, again, 1.4 efficiency. Again, probably not too dissimilar to, the TSR in terms of efficiency where we're still on miss hits. But 271, 292 total, 8 yards offline, lovely, nice tight draw.
That's mega.
Ridiculous.
That one was worse.
In terms of more toey?
Yeah, that felt awful.
Well, it looked great.
Yeah.
Let's actually see where it was on the face.
158 ball speed.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's slightly worse than the couple. We had two with the TSR that were very, very similar to that, in all honesty. That was probably slightly worse at 21 mil toe. So that was 21 mil toe, 2 mil low. We had 17 mil toe, 1 mil low. And then we had 15 mil toe. So from an efficiency perspective, that was 1.38. The 17 mil toe on the TSR, we had 141. So actually a little bit more efficiency from the TSR, although it was slightly more toey with that strike, in fairness. And then the 15 mil toe, it was 1.4 efficiency with the TSR. Again, appearing data-wise, slightly more efficient from the TSR. However, the results have been a lot better with that.
It's just managing the spin so much better.
Yes. Again, that's 2.4 spin, which is great. Even the very, very low one was only 2.9, which is really good. So, I mean, how much lower was that? That was 15 mil low, the first one, compared to 2 mil low, and the spin came up 500 revs. So that's pretty good. Pretty good going. So, yeah, even though the one that was 17 mil toe with the TSR, even though the efficiency was slightly better, we still just got 5 yards more carry out of that shot you just hit there, even though it was slightly more at the toe. So it's great, and only 8 yards offline.
Oh my God, that one's even worse. I've really found my range with these toe shots.
Yeah. Again, it's done so well. That did sound and look. Yeah, I mean, wow, that's mega out the toe. Like, we're nearly missing a few of these now. Like, again, I mean, 12 launch, 18 backspin. I mean, what's that? 24 yards offline, still 262 carry. All right, the efficiency does drop a lot. Nothing anything's ever going to do to say that. That was so toey. It's unbelievable. But what a result. 280. I mean, you're probably creeping left rough, 24 yards left, but great result. Guest appearance. What are you doing? Don't bite me. Oh, yes.
We're going to test your toe strikes.
You want to have a go pee? Go.
Have you got a bed for her?
Come and stand with me. Yeah, it's out the back.
Oh, fair. I was going to say, is she the sort that if you just kind of put her in a bed in the corner, she'd just chill out? Or do you think?
Not in here. Out there she does, but not in here because she just wants to be involved with everything and anyone, no matter what's going on. How was that?
Yeah, I mean, I towed it. It's the operative.
I think it was must have been slightly higher toe because it popped up in the air.
Yeah, it did pop.
Which again, increased the carry was not bad at all. Fairness,
that was very well behaved.
Yeah, again, I mean, 19 mil toe. Again, super comparable to the one we had earlier with the GT. And the swing speed there was better. So 19 mil toe again. The one earlier with the GT was 21 mil toe. There again, the swing speed was the same. We had 1.4 efficiency out of that. Again, 1.39. Sorry, 1.38 out of the GT. It almost seems like the TSR might even be slightly more efficient on miss hits.
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's been a few now that we've seen, very comparable. And yeah, the TSR does seem slightly more efficient. And then what was the carry on that one? The carry was 273 with that one, and it was 277 with the GT. So still a tiny bit more carry out of the GT. And again, the reason behind that was probably spin, because it was 2.4 spin with that strike on the GT, and it was 2.7 that one there with the TSR. So even though the ball speed was slightly higher with the TSR, we got a little bit more carry out of the GT because of that lower spin. I mean, that actually surprised me as well, in fairness. I mean, I deleted like literally a couple because you hit a couple of horrendous about high toe like divers with them. But literally just deleting a couple without being unfair at all, and that was the average from the toe strikes. So I mean, ball speed, identical. Launch, we see a touch more out of the GT. Spin, we see a touch less out of the GT. Again, exactly what we saw out of the good data set, but carry, identical, total really identical. I mean, it's just, there's not really a lot going on there, is there, to be honest? You see there the average strikes, really very fair. I mean, and from an efficiency perspective, so a ball speed retention perspective, again, the TSR does slightly edge it. I mean, you're never going to see any difference to that in the real world, but again, we like to do things in fine detail. You can see a little bit more efficiency there from the TSR. But dynamic loft, the same, speed very comparable, delivery super comparable. I mean, yes, about as fair as you can really make it, to be honest, from trying to miss hits. That's a great job there, mate, from getting that data, because we love to see that, and that's what we love to do. Right, now, the question is, can we do the same from the heel? Roughly the same.
Mission failed successfully. Come on.
Properly necky. Like nearly missed it necky.
Yeah, sick.
Go on, get over that water. Yeah, nice. Again, that's probably realistically more the ball flight that we're going to see, because we know you come across it a bit anyway, the tendency to leave the face a bit open anyway. So there we can see, yeah, pretty horrific delivery. 8.5 out twin, 7.5 open, with, I mean, that's probably, well, it is the least efficient quadrant of the head, high heel. Super, super inefficiency. So super inefficient. So you see 135 efficiency, which is absolute pony, but that's exactly what we expect from that strike and delivery. Heel?
Yeah. Yeah. Appears my quadrants are low toe and high heel.
Yeah, to be honest, whenever I'm trying to hit toe, I hit it really, really low toe. But I mean, at least it's consistent, right? So if we can do that with GT, you can get a good comparison out of the heel, because that is certainly consistently heeled. Yeah. Like 134, 135 efficiency, something around there on average. How was that one?
Yeah, you'll like that one. It's a little lower on the head.
260 carry down the line.
Yeah, behaved.
Where was that struck? Yeah, good. Okay, nice. So it's like 16 mil heel, a little bit lower in the head, better. So we get slightly more efficiency because it's lower in the head, even though it was still heeled. 141. Nice. Assuming that means.
Yeah, I don't know why that. I don't know where that creepy whisper came from. But George Michael.
Likewise, how did it feel?
That was Healy. That was
again high heel. Yeah. Again, like you say, you fit everything out the heel, which is exactly what I want you to do. Which is great. And at least if we can get sort of 10 with each on average, even if I have to take a couple out, we can try and get some sort of a fair comparison, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better, mate. Well, it's bad, but it's better for what we want.
Yes, yeah.
Because you're right, I think you did square the face a little bit better, but must have been pretty necky because 240 carry is not good for your speed. Yeah, there we go. That was properly necked. Good. That's what we want.
But yeah, a little bit more of a playing path. Yeah.
I mean, it's only 9 yards offline at 250 with that strike where you nearly missed it, which is not, it's not awful. Didn't sound too bad, that one.
I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. If by pleasantly I mean you'll notice how bad that was.
Okay, see. Yeah.
25.
25, wow, okay. Did better than I thought for that strike. That is not good. 135 efficiency. So really bad heels tend to be around 134, 135 efficiency with this TSR and carrying somewhere 250 to maybe touching 260. And the really bad heel carried about 235. So, okay, let's go back to GT then. Let's get some heel strikes and see how it fares. Definitely sounded heely.
Yeah, I did it.
I mean, that's pretty good to be fair, wasn't it? That was pretty good. Yeah, not quite as heely as some with the TSR, so obviously we'll get more, slightly heel. But again, for that strike, it's really not done bad. 137 efficiency, yeah, okay. Very necky again. .250 carry, nice. Yeah, again, living in that high heel quadrant, yeah. Consistent, mate.
Try my best.
138 efficiency. Ooh. Again, sounded super neck. Around 240 carry. Yeah, oh wow, that's, yeah. Again, not good, 132 efficiency. But again, it's not done bad. I mean, if you really look, okay, we lost loads of efficiency, we lost loads of distance. We expect that. That was a shockingly bad strike. But your path was 6 left, face 5 open, and it only ended up 16 yards offline. So actually, in terms of punishing you from a directional perspective, like you're still fairway.
Yeah.
Just, yeah, lost a lot of yards, but ain't no driver saving that strike.
Exactly.
That was
a good one. That was a good bad one.
Good bad one. Yeah, I mean, was it very heely?
I think that's
carry.
I think that's going to be surprising because I think that's probably like between 8 and 12 mil heel. Yeah, even more.
Mil. It wasn't too bad. Again, 139 efficiency. That was, I mean, again, like for that strike, 40 launch, 2-3 backspin, 272 carry. I mean, it's good, right? It's not that heely. We've seen obviously a lot worse today, but I think on average, we'll have a little clean up of this data set and we'll see if we can make it a very comparable set between GT and TSR and dive in and see if we can see any differences. So we ended up hitting quite a lot more there. Again, it was probably harder with the heel than the toe, in all honesty, wasn't it? Just to kind of try and make it a fair comparison and try and see if there is any difference. I mean, that's about as fair as I can make it. I mean, we swung the TSR slightly quicker, but the efficiency identical at 136. You can see the strike there, top right on average. Super comparable. Loft the same. Angle of attack was similar. Path was a little bit more left with the TSR. But, I mean, it's about as fair a comparison as we can probably make it. And we can see the efficiency, looking at all the shots. I didn't really notice too much difference between them. Very hard to say, but there wasn't anything standing out from the GT to really make me feel like it was doing anything better on the heel strikes. And there we see the efficiency pretty much exactly the same. Again, 3 yards carrying it. You can see the average dispersion there, identical down the right. Yeah, I mean, not much really to pick apart from those, in all honesty. Did you feel any difference between them?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. The GT, I definitely had a way harder time hitting out of the heel. I just felt I felt in order to get it out the heel, I was really manipulating where I was putting the club. I was walking, I felt like I was stood over a pitching wedge at one point. I was trying to get so close to get it out that heel.
Interesting. Don't know if that's a good or a bad thing.
It's
easier or harder to miss it, but
I found. I mean, I think it's probably case in point with the rest of the test where I was finding the GT, our sort of time hitting normal full shots. I was hitting this way better, and I was having easier time getting it out of the toe. And I guess probably where I have that kind of right one in the bag. Yeah. Maybe that's why I'm just heel averse when I'm actually trying to do it on purpose. But yeah.
All right, nice. Well, yeah, maybe not too much in terms of the difference on miss hits. But yeah, definitely overall, if you were going to pick one, you'd go GT purely based on when you're actually swinging somewhat normally. It did give you better numbers, better performance, easy to find out in the middle, easy to square it up. Just probably a slightly better head design for you. But, you know, when it comes to all the marketing around better on miss hits, it's hard to tangibly say for a fact if it is or not, to be honest. Really, you probably have to get a robot to do it. But for us human testing, we can't really tell any difference. Yeah. Right? So there you have it. A good 4 hours odd of hitting there, followed by about 8-9 hours of editing. But as always, I would love to hear your thoughts on what you saw in the comments below. Again, I'm trying to be as fair and unbiased as possible, driven by the data, and just asking Josh for his feedback of what he felt. So quick recap, miss hits, as I said, it's very difficult really to tangibly tell if there's any difference between the heads on the miss hits. I mean, your data would realistically suggest that there's not any difference in terms of ball speed retention across the face between the TSR and GT. So yeah, it's very hard to say that there is any difference. And spin retention, again, it's very difficult. I mean, I think overall the GT is just a slightly lower spin head. So on the miss hits, we still just saw slightly low spin, meaning that on average, it could go a little bit further at times. But I think that's just the nature of the GT being a slightly lower spin head. And with the good hits, as we saw, the GT just clicked a bit better with Josh. I mean, does that mean it's an astronomically better head? No, not necessarily, but there was something about it that worked better for him. Whether it was he could see more loft with the lines on the face, that gave him more confidence, whether it was something to do with the distribution of the mass throughout the head. You know, with that PMP crown, the mass is going to be distributed differently. That will be having an effect on the golfer. There was something that just enabled him to strike it a bit better, a bit more consistently, square up that face a little bit better, and therefore get slightly better numbers out of it. So yeah, let me know what you thought in the comments below. Please do stay tuned. We've got the slower swing speed GT2 versus TSR2 video coming. I'll try and do that as quickly as I possibly can, I promise. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and staying tuned. Thank you for your support at the minute. The channel's growing steadily, which is brilliant. Again, if you aren't a subscriber and you love what we do, please do consider subscribing. And again, yeah, thank you. Tune into the next one, and I'll see you then.